Hi, this is Julie from Love's Beginning, and I just wanted to tell you about something that came to me a couple of days ago about the release of emotion when very powerful emotion comes through us. There is always a personal factor there. It's touching something in us that we can release, but there is an ancestral factor in there, or a factor that is related to past incarnations, possibly ones you would consider yours. Um, so it's kind of a mixed bag of things. And so, what I wanted to share was an experience of seeing a musical, and I'm moved very easily, but I found it very moving. And it was Newsies. It was about the newspaper strikes in New York City. Um, and I could feel kind of fluttering around me the not me in it. I mean, the different personalities. Um, what am I trying to say here? People visiting from spirit and saying to me, I was there, I was there. And it was very, very stirring, very sweeping, very cleansing, because I felt what it was like at that time to be in those situations. And I felt kind of like a newness of perspective on it, and putting the suffering into perspective and forgiveness. I think I also felt the perspectives of the ones who would have been called privileged in that context, and what their view of themselves was, what their view of others was, what they were trying to get for themselves, how they viewed others as a means to their own end, um, and forgiveness there, forgiveness for the selves who would profit off of others in that way, um, forgiveness in for the idea of what they thought of others. It was a lot of stuff going on at once from a lot of angles. So we become more sensitive, and we become aware of just how much is going on. Um, but it's always very simple too. It's always very simple. So if we're stirred and moved by these things, and I was crying, but it was a good cry. It was a cry of letting go. If we're stirred and moved by these things, it's there's also a component in us, some ways that we haven't forgiven others, some ways that we still judge others, some ways that we haven't forgiven ourselves, some ways that we may see ourselves as trying to take advantage of others, we may see ourselves as lacking or being taken advantage of. All that stuff has some little reflector points in us, and it is an opportunity for the letting go of the personal sense of lack or unworthiness too. There's always a connection there. Um, so, if you are experiencing some deep emotions, some responses, reactions that you're not accustomed to, I mean, I've always been a crier, but if you're not a crier and you catch yourself in these situations, it might be more distressing to you than it is for me. And if you feel a lot going on, you may be releasing for the collective, but it's of benefit to you too. So we should never think, I should never think, oh, this burden I'm releasing for the collective. It's all on me. No, it's like I'm releasing my stuck personality, false ego personality stuck points too, as I'm releasing this, and I can feel the connections all around me. Just like when you allow your mind to heal, minds all around you have an easier time finding their path to healing too. And I could feel that wherever we're willing to feel, there is a beneficial effect on all minds across time and space. It's really quite, the word sweeping keeps coming to me. Uh, it's it's pretty amazing when you begin to feel the effect of your willingness to release into our shared self of harmony and to let go of anything that would stand in the way of the perception of that and the enactment of love from that basis, from the basis of the one shared self in harmony and love that we are. So release is part of this, and it can take some very interesting forms, some very intense forms. I know of, run into people all around who are releasing in various ways. So that's just one, and it's all good, and we're all heading the same direction to full remembrance of ourselves and full empowerment. So I hope things are going well for you. Take care.